Does EA do anything well? Honest question. So like they make, I'm trying to think of like games that I don't hear complained about by EA. And I don't know a lot of like game like so like is like The Sims is made by EA.
Mhm.
I've never heard anybody complain much about that.
True.
I can't think of any other games that EA makes that people aren't like, this is terrible, that came out since like, I don't know, 2012. I'm just throwing out a number.
Yeah, in the last 10 years, Apex has been pretty big.
That's fair. But do
Basically,
people complain about it a lot? Like, is it just big?
Not really.
Okay.
It's
So
one
that's
of the
another
better
one.
like battle royales out there.
That's cool.
But it's a free to play game, so like microtransactions are like a big part of that. And
But
it's
is it
just
for
accepted.
skill stuff or is it?
No.
See, I don't mind.
Cosmetics.
I actually am all for. I'm going to get roasted for saying I'm all for microtransactions that don't affect gameplay. As long as
Yeah.
the game is finished and good, I don't mind microtransactions for cosmetics.
Right.
But I hate EA. Anytime you bring anything up about them, I'm going to cry about it.
So
And it's mostly because of Madden.
does the Madden have microtransactions that affect the game?
Yes. So they have, what is it, Mutt, I think it is, where you have to buy card packs and you build a team from players for these packs you buy. And I've never touched the mode as hard as EA once, tries to make me. But from my understanding is like the packs are at random. So you can spend, I don't know how much it costs, $5-10 for a pack of cards and get a bunch of crap. And then the overpowered teams online will beat the bad teams. It's just, and that game mode makes EA so much money that they have ignored all of the other parts of the game except that because of the microtransactions. So they're selling you a $70 or $100, or I think they have a $150 video game that's littered with microtransactions, and their franchise has gotten worse every year. Franchise mode has gotten worse every year since, I don't know, 2008. Yeah. And they have the exclusive NFL license, so no one else can make a simulation style NFL game but Madden.
Right.
And Madden doesn't even do that. They make a very bad arcade game.
Right.
I say all this and then I'm going to talk about how much I play Madden. That's
how it always goes.
Well, the only reason I play it is because no one else is allowed. So like 2K is going to be making, this would be news we could talk about. 2K is going to be making a football game. They got a license to make arcade style football games.
Like NFL?
So they've got an NFL license, but they can't make simulation football games. So like they could make like an NFL Street back in the day if you ever played that.
Oh, that was one of the best games.
Oh, I would have so much fun. If they even used like the exact same like physics and engine and everything and just made it look cool and had good online play. Oh my, like made it kind of like the NBA 2K. I would never touch Madden again.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even have to be simulation because Madden's that bad. But what I want, so I'm in a Madden franchise league. There's 4 of us. You see our conversations in there because you're in our Discord for some reason because we're using your Discord.
Yeah, it's my Discord.
I don't know why we're on your Discord.
Because I wanted to be.
Yeah, well, I'm glad we're on it. But the thing is like Madden they miss on so much. So the franchise mode is actually close to being good in a lot of ways. Like good enough, not where they should be. But the gameplay is so broken and arcadey, and not good. And then on top of that, they miss. There's not enough depth to the franchise mode. And then whatever little depth is there, like when we started on Madden 21, it was when we started our franchise,
Mm-hmm.
and we were sim only. So we just wanted to build teams. We would simulate through the games, get to the off season. I keep touching my nose a lot because I have allergies. And so people are going to be like starting drinking games. Like every time David touches his face, take a drink. Um, anyways, sorry. Okay. So anyways, so we've got this franchise mode that like we were trying to sim games, but like I could have a 90, let's say a 97 overall team out of 100. And it felt like it was literally a coin toss against any team we would simulate a game against. It didn't take into account the skill of our players, the scheme, like game plans. Like there was nothing there. It just felt like a 60 overall team could beat a 99 overall team on any given game, which I guess could be a little realistic in NFL, but not really. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just want a good football game.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for hijacking whatever we were talking about before this, but
We were talking about EA. So
EA,
it's relevant.
EA is the worst. EA, I have a message for you. I want you to go out of business and stop making bad video games. Can we send that clip to EA?
Of course.
I'm sure they'll read it. They'll put it in their suggestion bin, which is also the trash can.
Yeah.
Because if they took suggestions, they'd make better games. I'm sorry.
You just clip.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think you're okay. Yeah.
I think I'm done. That was my rant for today.
EA is not the only one, though.
Yeah, I feel like there's so many game companies that just put out the same garbage over and over just to make a quick buck.
Yeah. And I don't want to get into a rant about Call of Duty right now, but Activision is definitely another big offender. So is Ubisoft. Activision obviously is hopefully getting bought out by Microsoft soon. They still have to go through one more like approval for that. But it looks like it's probably going to happen. Hopefully Microsoft just like starts them fresh and stops them from doing all this stupid stuff they've been doing, like harassing employees and
Yeah.
and releasing stupid business practices in their games and stuff.
You know, I saw 2K did something recently that's like unheard of, which it shouldn't. This should not be going above and beyond. But I guess, and I'd never played it, but I saw they had a wrestling game that was getting really bad, like kind of like how Madden's bad. Like I guess it was really buggy.
Oh yeah,
Um,
there's like a infamous like video of it being so bad.
Yeah, but they took a year off, so they didn't just take the free money. Granted, I guess if a game's I mean, if they're the only wrestling game, I guess people will probably buy it just like they do Madden. But
they're not the only one anymore.
but well, no. So I guess they took a year off to actually focus on making the game like not suck,
Mm-hmm.
which you don't hear about ever. They just take the free money and put out the same game.
Yeah, it depends on how badly it affects them. Like Ubisoft did that with Assassin's Creed back when Origins came out, like in 2016, because they had so much like people saying like stop releasing things every year. They all like release really badly, and you have to spend so much time fixing them. Like take more time. So they did that, and a couple other companies too have done it too. But you're right, like it's not too common.
Yeah. What can you do?
Yeah, with wrestling games, they're
Hold that thought. What you can do is we can stop buying bad video games.
I mean, yeah. Sometimes you don't know though until
That's true.
Like, I guess you could just wait for like reviews.
That's what I was gonna say. That's what I usually do.
But
But even like for Madden, I actually I bought Madden 22 because Madden 20 and 21 were so bad. I think I'm getting my story straight. That I saw like enough improvements with the game that I was like, I'll pay for this so I can stop playing this old hot garbage. Um, but it wasn't that much better. I fell for the hype. These
yeah.
companies have great marketing teams.
Oh, that's where most of their money goes. Yeah. Yeah. Call of Duty is the same way. And a lot of the other big games, they just spend so much money like hyping it up and making it seem like it's amazing, and then it releases and it's either super buggy or like it's just bad. Like,
or a cool idea that was poorly implemented or something.
yeah,
Just
like
there's always something wrong.
one good example recently is another EA game,
Of course.
Battlefield 2042. I didn't buy it. Tyler bought it.
I've heard a couple stories, I think.
Apparently it's terrible and like super buggy, and like they have been trying to fix it, but it's just like basically an alpha state. So it's not going to be something they can fix in
What's
one
crazy
update.
too is sometimes companies will put out a game that's built on such a broken base that they can't even fix it. That's kind of where Madden's at. And there's other games that are like that too. And they'll fix it as best they can, but it's never going to be like a finished game from like when we were in high school, like when there were just discs and you had to actually finish a game to release it.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah. Things
Just
are weird.
assume anytime you put EA on something that we're going to talk about that it's going to be a long rant.
Yeah. It's unfortunate that that's where a lot of the bigger companies are now. Like EA and Activision both used to be, and Ubisoft used to be like the best companies that would put out the best games. Like there's a reason that their big franchises are so big now, because they were so good.
Yeah.
They did things super well. Like Madden used to be amazing.
You want to know what's crazy though? So Madden was, as much as I complain about Madden now, so Madden for its time in 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008
Yeah.
was such a good game.
Yeah.
But I found out that kind of recently, and I tried playing it and it was really fun. 2K made NFL 2K 2005 or ESPN 2K 2000 football, sports ball, something. 2K had a game in 2005 that was an NFL game that, in my opinion, at least from a gameplay perspective, blows Madden out of the water. Even their gameplay from 2005 blows Madden's gameplay out, like now.
2K5.
Yeah. Are you trying to get the name right?
Yeah, that's what it is. 2K5.
Yeah, but it's ESPN NFL 2K5.
Yep.
But it was such a good game, and the franchise was actually deeper than Madden's. Like the gameplay is on another level, especially now. But like, in fact, I don't know. The only reason I play Madden over that is for like multiplayer, and I have found, as bad as new sports games are, and this could probably be said about other games too, when you go back and really compare them to like old games that you were like, these games were great, they're not as great as we thought they were.
Oh yeah.
Like there's some features that are in Madden, like as bad as that game is now, that I actually can't play without.
Right.
That weren't in those old games that I didn't, and I guess because I didn't know that it was possible at that time, I didn't know how bad it was not having it. Like
Right.
being able to like I tried to do a superstar mode on, I think it was Madden 06 or 07, somewhere during the prime.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think you could simulate when your player wasn't on the field. You had to actually watch the game. It's like if I had a quarterback, I would play on offense and then I would watch the kicker kick a field goal. and then I would watch us kick the ball off, and then I would watch us play defense. But yeah, there were features that like I could not go without.
Right.
As much as those games were way better for their time than what our games are now,
Yeah.
it feels like, and maybe nostalgia is part of it, but like
Yeah.
you also like, even graphics aside, like there's some things I'm sure like Call of Duty's probably the same way.
Yeah. I was about to say, like, when you have a game that releases every year, you're building on what was done the year before that. So each year is like iterative. So it's like, yeah, the one that came out this year was just like a slight improvement from last year. But that happens every
Well,
year.
it's supposed
over
to
and over.
be.
Yeah, and it happens
They also
if they do it every
break
year.
things while they add things on, usually. It feels like.
Madden, especially, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know, like the longer that happens, like you're getting so far away from what it was originally. So the one from 2005 is going to be vastly different from the one from 2022, but it's not it's hard to see that in the journey.
I will say, and I guess it really is maybe just Madden. Well, EA, but like the franchise mode was legitimately better. Like if you hold that franchise mode up to the one now, it is better.
Yeah.
There's not any features that we have now that weren't in that game for like just franchise mode.
Mm-hmm.
I tried superstar mode, and like that was like, for me, like felt unplayable.
Yeah.
But if I wanted to do like a good single player franchise mode, I would 100% play an old Madden game or that 2K game.